There's something different about a season when a player enters it knowing the future isn't guaranteed. Not uncertain in a dramatic way, but defined by performance, by what happens between the lines over 6 months. And for Seiya Suzuki, 2026 feels exactly like that kind of season. Because as the Chicago Cubs push forward with clear ambitions of contending, Suzuki finds himself in a position where his role is not just important for the team, it's pivotal for his own future. He's entering the final year of his contract, and he didn't avoid the reality of it. He acknowledged it openly. If he performs, he wants to stay. If he doesn't, the outcome could be different. That honesty alone makes this storyline one of the most compelling ones on the Cubs roster right now. But before we go deeper, if you're a Cubs fan who enjoys analysis that looks beyond the stat line and tries to understand the bigger picture behind each season, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. It helps the channel grow and keeps these deeper breakdowns coming. Now, back to the story. Because Suzuki's situation isn't just about contract timing, it's about expectations and how those expectations have evolved. Last season, he delivered a mix of production and inconsistency. The power was there. The run production was there. He crossed the 30-home run mark and drove in over 100 runs, numbers that reflect a hitter capable of impacting games in a meaningful way. But the overall perception remained nuanced. Not because he struggled, but because the standard for middle-of-the-order hitters on a team with postseason aspirations is always high. Consistency becomes the measuring stick, and that's where Suzuki's season sparked discussion. And yet, the way he finished the year, especially down the stretch, reinforced why the organization still sees him as a key offensive piece. What makes this year different is the clarity of the stakes. There's no long-term guarantee in the background, no extension already shaping the narrative, just performance, opportunity, and the understanding that this season will play a major role in defining what comes next. And if you're a loyal Chicago Cubs fan, this channel is for you, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. From a team perspective, Suzuki's importance goes beyond his individual numbers. The Cubs lineup has evolved. New additions have changed the structure. Roles have shifted. But the need for a reliable middle-order presence hasn't changed at all. If anything, it's become even more critical, because teams with championship ambitions depend on stability in their offensive core, and Suzuki sits right in the middle of that equation. What's interesting about his mindset is that he didn't frame the situation as pressure. He framed it as responsibility. He spoke about wanting to meet expectations, about feeling like there's still another level he can reach. And that self-awareness is often what defines players who take a step forward. He's not approaching the season as a player defending his place. He's approaching it as a player trying to elevate his impact. And that distinction matters, because when a player embraces the challenge rather than avoids it, the narrative shifts. It becomes less about uncertainty and more about opportunity. For the Cubs, that mindset could be crucial. A motivated Suzuki, one playing with clarity about what this season represents, has the potential to bring not just production, but consistency. And consistency is what separates good offenses from great ones over a long year. There's also a broader emotional layer to this story. Suzuki has spent 4 seasons in Chicago. He's grown into the environment, adjusted to the league, and built a connection with the fan base. So when he says he wants to stay if he performs well, it doesn't sound like a standard contract year line. It sounds like someone who sees Chicago as more than just a stop in his career. And that makes the season feel even more meaningful, because this isn't just about numbers on a stat sheet. It's about whether those numbers align with a long-term vision, both from the player's perspective and from the organization's. So as we look ahead, the storyline around Seiya Suzuki isn't just contract year production. It's about trajectory. Can he translate last season's flashes into sustained consistency? Can he solidify himself as a cornerstone bat in a lineup with high expectations? And can this season become the one that defines his long-term future in Chicago? Because when a player's performance and future intersect like this, every game carries a little more weight, not dramatically, but meaningfully. And sometimes, those are the seasons that reveal the most about who a player really is. Do you believe Seiya Suzuki will take that next step this year and earn a long-term future with the Cubs? Or do you think this season could mark the end of his time in Chicago? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you see his role and future with the team. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe so you stay on top of everything happening with the Cubs. Let's go, Cubs!